In RPG games, I love learning the fundamentals of the different classes that are available. After spending the last few months learning and making overviews for the new subclasses that were added with Destiny 2's Forsaken expansion, I'm at a point now where I've collected enough armor that I can start mastering them. Today we're going to dive deep into the Warlock's Attunement of Fission and look at what I consider a perfectly constructed build. Let's get started. When you first pick up the Attunement of Fission, especially in PvE, it's easy to write it off as lackluster. All of its abilities synergize well together, but they're not as explosive or sustainable as what you find on the Attunement of Chaos or Hunger. However, if you add enough of the correct perks, traits, and mods, you'll wind up with a ridiculously powerful subclass. To start off with, we're going to talk about armor perks. Armor perks have a relatively low impact on your overall performance, but they can help turn a good build into a great one. On my boots, I have Bomber, which reduces the cooldown of my grenade by about 10% when I activate my class ability. This perk on its own won't get much use on a Warlock because their class ability has a long base cooldown. Without Paragon mods or some other means of cooldown reduction, it feels lackluster, but thankfully the Attunement of Fission's Dark Matter perk helps speed things up. Dark Matter causes void ability kills to restore health and grant grenade, melee, and class ability energy. Next, we have Innervation on our class item. Innervation reduces your grenade cooldown whenever you pick up an Orb of Light. With a masterworked primary weapon, orb drops are very common, so this perk has a lot of value. Finally, on our helmet, we have Ashes to Assets, which grants bonus super energy on grenade kills. Bomber, Innervation, and Ashes to Assets all combo together to make a solid foundation for us to build the rest of our loadout. The next step is to pick an exotic armor. For the Voidwalker attunements, the Nezarec Sin exotic helmet is the best in slot, but that's not what we're going to use today. The Controverse Hold isn't a particularly strong exotic on its own, but it scales incredibly well with a strong build. The exotic perk is called Chaotic Exchanger, and it provides two benefits. While charging a Void Grenade, you take reduced damage. Additionally, charged grenade hits refund a random amount of grenade energy. Since the amount of energy restored is random, it's difficult to give precise information about it, but in my experience, the more projectiles you land from handheld supernova, the more likely you are to regenerate more grenade energy. But then again, it could just be completely random. On average, I find Chaotic Exchanger returning between 20 and 40% of my grenade, which is a lot. But when we finish off our build with mods, that's where things start to get crazy. I'm sure you've already guessed, but we're going to slap 5 ordnance mods into our armor. This reduces our grenade's cooldown to 32 seconds. But because of Dark Matter, Chaotic Exchanger, and all of our armor perks, we're much more likely to have a grenade to charge and throw every 10 to 15 seconds. So let's go over everything one more time and then take this into the field to see how it works. For armor perks, we have Bomber on our boots and Innervation on our class item for grenade cooldown reduction. Ashes to Asset on our helmet for bonus super energy on grenade kills. For exotic armor, we've got the Controverse Hold and the exotic perk Chaotic Exchanger, which refunds grenade energy on grenade hits. We also have 5 ordnance mods to reduce the cooldown of our grenade to 32 seconds. And for our subclass, Dark Matter provides energy to all of our abilities when we get Void ability kills, which we should be getting a lot of because of handheld supernova. Sounds good. Now let's take this into the field and watch it in action. And here we go. We just loaded up into the Volunder Forge and we're going to test out our build. The theory behind this build is that we're going to have a handheld supernova grenade available to throw whenever we should need one or desire one. So we're going to find out if that is true in just a second. Hopefully things work out. Alright, we got a bunch of Cabal coming out of this little hole right there. We're going to eliminate them. We got a decent amount of our grenade back from the Chaotic Exchanger and Dark Matter, and it is almost full again. So let's find another enemy to throw as soon as we throw this ball at the forge. We've got more Cabal coming up. We'll eliminate them with the grenade Chaotic Exchanger, giving us back about 50% of the grenade, so we can activate our Rift to give us a little bit more, and then we can try to get it back with some kills, pick up some balls, throw them at the forge, and look at that, our grenade is ready again. This time we'll throw it at the big guy over here, the Gladiator. Switch to our secondary weapon. We're using the Pinnacle Vanguard Fusion Rifle. Can't remember its name right now, doesn't matter. But right now we're in a situation that does happen with this build from time to time. Everything is on cooldown, so we don't have access to handheld supernova, and we can't trigger Dark Matter. But because we have so many ordnance mods, even if we get stuck without any abilities, it's very likely that our abilities will come back very shortly. So there we go. We'll throw out a supernova for that guy. We fell onto the floor a little bit. That was uncomfortable, but it's fine. We're back in business. We've got a big Cabal over here. We'll throw a grenade at his feet. He's trying to stomp us, but it's not going to work out for him. And there we go. Our super's over. Our grenade does get refreshed after our super ends. We didn't get the full grenade back from that. We'll just try and melee that guy. And our grenade is back once again. So from the looks of things right now, the build is working exactly how I want it to. I've been using handheld supernova more than I've been using my guns, and that feels pretty cool. It almost makes me feel like I could run a double primary loadout if I want to, and not feel as if I am limiting myself in any serious way. Oof. It's a good thing we had that rift there. Those gladiators were chopping us up pretty good. Just like that. The grenade is back once again. We'll throw it at that guy. Probably should have saved it for the major, but it doesn't matter because we do have guns and we may as well use them. So once again, we're caught out with all of our abilities on cooldown, so we didn't get so lucky with our procs. But our melee came back. We can use that to trigger dark matter, and that brought back our grenade and also our class ability. So the next grenade that we throw, we can refresh the melee, and the cycle just keeps refreshing itself and continuing again. So we are at the boss fight now, so we're not going to get as much value out of our build, but we can still throw our grenades to clear out the little drones. And what the hell, let's activate our super and use it on the boss. So as soon as our super runs out, our grenade is going to refresh itself. And I could use the handheld supernova there, see how much we get back. Didn't get back the full thing, but activating the rift did top us off a little bit, so we'll throw one more at the boss. We didn't even have to use our power weapon. Our team did a great job of burning down the boss as well. We saw the chaos reach from the other warlock. I think the Titan was just sitting in front of him with his barricade shooting the guy in the face with whatever he's using. And it worked out really well, so that felt amazing. We had our handheld supernova pretty much every... Wait, we gotta leave. Oh my god. Don't start again, please. Okay, here we go. We are approaching a lost sector, and we're just going to go through the basic gameplay loop of this build one more time so we can see it and I can talk through the different components. So we'll start off by throwing a grenade at a single Cabal, and we're getting a nice refresh there. Almost the entire grenade. One dark matter proc should be enough to completely refresh it. We'll use another grenade, kill two more Cabal. This time we didn't get as much of a refresh, but we have our melee and our rift to activate, so we can pretty much get that all filled up. Everything was on cooldown for just a second, but the ordnance mods are helping us out considerably. And just like that, the loop has begun, and there's nothing the enemies can do to really stop it. I'm missing a lot of blinks into melees, but everything else otherwise is working correctly. And there we go, that's going to wrap up the video. This build is a lot of fun to use, and all of the components of it are working well together, and that's what makes it so exciting. The perks on the armor, the mods, and the exotic equipment are all making this feel complete and incredibly powerful. If you enjoyed this and you'd like to see more of the completed builds that I've made for the Warlock and also for the Titan, let me know in the comments. Also, if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to provide more support than you already do just by watching, liking, and leaving comments, you can head over to patreon.com/iBluairJgR and become a patron. For next week, I'm not sure if Bungie's adding any new Black Armory content, but I have something in mind in case they don't, so stay tuned for that. With all of that said, we're going to wrap things up here by saying the name of the game is Destiny 2. The name of the channel is iBluairJgR. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Let me know what your favorite Attunement of Fission exotic armor is. For me, it's the Controverse Hold. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.